Alright guys, this is the last set of this video and I'm going to demonstrate now the system settings. So we were at the playback mode, we're going to go back to the video mode, right? So when camera turns on, it always turns on in the video mode. So you guys know the system settings are common between all three modes. So when you press the menu button once, it will go to video settings, and then press it again, we'll go to system settings, and I'm going to adjust the exposure here so you can read it, and zoom it in a little bit too. Alright, so under system settings, you got your Wi-Fi. You can turn it on and off if you want, and then I'm just going to keep it off right now. The date and time, guys, this one I recommend do not set date and time. To have correct date and time, set the time zone setting, which is the next feature. But over here you can set up the month, date, and year. So if you want to change it to use up and down here to date, month, and year, month, and date, and by default it's month, date, and year, okay? And then you just go press menu button to go back. Now this is the most important feature in the system settings. Time zone. This is California -8, you know, so in the usual manual, based on your location, we show which time zone to pick, but you should be able to Google that up, UTC or GMT, based on your location, right? Currently we're in Central Chicago. Sorry, we wanted to set it -5 right now, so if we set it -5, as soon as we get the GPS lock, we're going to get current time. All right, so that's that. So I'm gonna go to the system settings again, and then all right, so that was time zone. So based on your all over the world, guys, you can set your time zone to anywhere in the world, okay? We included almost all the time zone. There might be a few countries, you know, in between we didn't, but nobody buys it there, so we haven't. But if you guys are one of those and if you want it, just let us know. We'll bring an update out and we'll add that time zone. All right.
Video settings, system settings.
Okay. The next feature of the time zone is auto power off. Now this feature, guys, I would tell everyone to skip it. It's not really important. So basically, I'm going to explain that what it means anyway. So by default, it's off. If you set it to 3 minutes, for example, then what happens is, let's say if I just leave this camera without touching it and nothing happens to the camera, it's not recording video, right? Then it's after 3 minutes, if it stays idle for 3 minutes, it's going to shut off. You can set it the same way, 5 minutes or 10 minutes, but it really doesn't matter, right? You don't. There is no situation I can think of where you want your camera to be turned off idly and turn off, right? Either it's recording or either it's not recording. So I would always leave this to set to off. Next feature, guys, is LCD on-off settings, right? Now, some of the people, when they're driving, this is kind of distraction for them, right? So we have this built-in feature. By default, it's off because our LCD will always stay on, right? If you set it to 1 minute, for example, then what happens is after 1 minute of camera starts and record, let's say you go to work, you start your car, you start driving, after 1 minute, it's going to turn off your LCD only. But the red LED blinking right there, see that? That means it's recording video. All right, so that is, and you can set that to 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. I always leave it off. I always like my LCD on. So however, if it's a distraction, you can set it to go off after 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. The next feature is, guys, is a screensaver. Now this is the brand new feature we just installed a couple months ago, and it's called screensaver. So basically by default it's on. What a screensaver is going to show you the black background, and I can leave that on for right now, and I'll show you. It's going to show you your time, the speed that you're driving, the direction you're driving towards, and the red blinking dot on there, that means it's recording video. By default it's on, and it just gives you a little bit less distraction by having a screensaver on with having time, date, directions, and recording status, right? So you could definitely utilize this. Most people like it. Some do, some don't. It's about 50-50. I personally like the screensaver to be turned on because I can see if the camera is recording and I can see the live speed and time and directions only. All right, so that's a very cool feature. Utilize it, guys. If you don't like it, you're welcome to simply go and turn it off. Okay, right now I'm going to turn it on, so I'm going to show you after a minute. Beep sound setting. As you could see, beep beep, all these buttons when I press, right? You can turn it off.
Mute on.
Right now, no matter what I press, you will not hear beep beep, nothing, right? And also the voice guidance, right? You know how when camera turns on and it jingles, you won't hear none of those. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to press and hold the power button to turn it off. See, it doesn't make any noise whatsoever. So if you do that, that means camera is not going to make any noise. Press the power button once to turn it on. See, usually when the camera turns on, it makes the jingle, right? Turning on jingle and the turn off jingle, right? And since it's plugged into the power, camera is going to turn on and start recording automatically, right? All right, very cool. So I'm going to go back to the see, usually if you press the menu button and it's going to tell you, please stop the video recording first before, so I'm going to do that. So you guys know that the feature works, and usually camera works faster if you don't need the voice guidance, but voice guidance is kind of nice, you know what I mean? Okay, very early. Set the exposure. Beep sound, yes, I'm going to turn it on for right now. Right now it's gonna be language. You could send any language, you know, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Dutch, Italian. I think there's simple Chinese and all Chinese and Polish, and I have no idea. I can't read it. My apologies, guys. But English is the best by default set on. Other language, you are welcome to set the choice of your language. Going down, it's a TV mode. By default is NTSC. If you're in Europe country or Asia or I don't know what other country, they have a PAL system, and in US use NTSC. So check with your country to see which one works better for your TV.
System settings.
Okay, language TV mode is done. Now the license plate. Some people ask, what is a license plate? This is for companies who wants, like a trucking company, they want to add driver ID or each fleet's license plate. You can even put your name on it over here. You could use up and down button to pick anything you like, right? Like X or whatever, dot, numbers, right? And this will be basically whatever you put here, it's going to be stamped at the bottom of your video. So that is what the license plate is, okay? When you're done, simply press OK to return, and that is going to be on the video. If you don't want it, make sure you delete all of that. Or you could simply set the camera to default settings, so by default it will be off. That's easier. Frequency. Frequency in the US is 60 Hertz. So basically this is to match the light frequency. You know how when you record video you will see little lines going through in the old TV, right? So that's your light frequency basically. So in the US it's 60 Hertz by default. In European countries and Asian countries, I think they wanted to set at 50, but check with your sine wave light frequency based on your country. Alright, so I'm gonna leave it at 60. GPS info. We added this menu, guys. It's gonna tell you your latitude, longitude, the time based on where this camera is. Right now I'm in the office, so I don't get GPS signal, so everything's gonna be blank and null. But it tells you all kind of directions that you're driving towards and all that if you have this on and if you're moving, right? So that is your GPS menu. Most people, if you use it, if you're somewhere out of nowhere and you want to see your latitude and longitude, you can definitely utilize this to find out where you are, right? So it's just an added feature. Most people will not need it. Storage space. If I go in there, it's just going to tell me I got 128 GB card in there. The total space is 119 GB because it's got some reserved space which we cannot use. Every card's like that. Free space 119 GB. Event means all the locked video. We only got 0.12 GB in there. Movie, we got 0.6 GB, and picture, whatever, 0.01 GB. So you got the point. Format. If you want to format the memory card, guys, now this is very important, right? When you install the new memory card, camera will tell you to format it, right? Now if you want to delete everything and if you want to clean your memory card completely, we recommend go ahead and format that, right? And I personally recommend, and it's from the company, we recommend that you format your memory card every 3 or 6 months to keep it running smoothly, right? So to format it, simply highlight format, press it.
Formatting is complete.
There you go, formatting is complete, right? So camera tells you when formatting is done. So it's nice to have voice guidance like that. Default settings, if you ever change all the settings and got stuck and I don't know how to get back or whatever, you can just set the default setting OK.
The camera is now set to factory default settings.
Right, so camera is going to set to factory default. Right out of the box, this is what the settings it comes with, right? And then you can set everything again. It's going to lose whatever your time zone, if whatever you turn on or off, it will go back to
settings. System settings.
It will go back to whatever we taught the camera to be by default. Okay, so that's default settings. And you can utilize that if you ever get stuck in any of the settings, you don't know how to go back. Version. Last one is version. It tells you which firmware version, guys. This is also important, okay? This is like the fourth firmware update that we have released. This is the major firmware you have. This is the latest right now. I don't know when you're watching this video. Right now is December 20th, and the latest firmware that we have is 11/08/2018. So last digit represents the date. So you always wanted to go to www.rove-cam.com and see if we have the newest firmware available. If we do, I encourage everyone to go out there and update the firmware version, so you always get the best and latest update. If you have any bugs and all that, we're always fixing it. So anyway guys, that was the last set of menu, and now press the menu button to go back to the main screen, right? It's very easy to use, guys. There's nothing, right? Basically it's very easy. Camera, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna press OK button to start recording, right? So camera is designed to turn on and start record when it receives power, and when the power gets disconnected, it basically saves that last video file and turns off. So we're gonna do a couple quick tests, and I'm gonna show you that in the next one.